never get free. Lamb to the slaughter, what you gon' do when there's blood in the water? The price of your greed is your son and your daughter. What you gon' do when there's blood in the water? Look me in my eyes, tell me everything's not fine, or that people ain't happy.
Hey guys, this is Ravenclaw What If. Welcome back to another What If story. Now this is What If Deku is a High-End Nomu Part 6. But before we begin, we're going to get some background on some things that, I'll be adding into the story. So, let's go with this. Alright, the first thing is, Void Midoriya, or Deku. His Harding quirk will look like this, but besides of the red lines, it's going to be green. Now he's gonna be able to do what Greed's able to do with his ultimate shield. So basically, what he could do is harden his whole body with it, but he also could harden pieces of himself, of his skin. So let's say if someone tried to hit you, in the face, on your right cheek, he could harden that right cheek a little bit, and he would not feel anything. So Izuku's going to, straight up, have the capabilities as Pride did in the Full Metal Alchemist anime. So there's that, and adding Shinjo to the story. That's going to be interesting. And I'm adding, a new character down. I'm straight up adding a new character. So, that's for a couple things. This is going to be Shinjo's, sister. I don't know nothing about Shinjo, but I'm just making, if he doesn't, well, he has one now. So, it's a what if. So, that shit happens. And Izuku will still have the long hair, so I'll let you guys know, that won't change. He'll look exactly like that in the thumbnail with all the scars and shit. So, alright. Where we left off is after all that incident with, the sludge villain and all that dialogue I had with Jiro. Or, Void had with Jiro. As we cut back to the scene as home as Izuku, Void. I'm so used to saying Izuku or Deku, but Void. He kind of, wants to be called Void, so it kind of made it like that in that story. So let's continue. As Void is, sitting around. I don't know if he would eat, because I don't know if Nomus eat. Even if you were turned into like a type of Nomu that Deku is. Let's say he does eat, so just for the sake of it. So as he's eating, the dinner that Inko provided before she left, as she gets home from her day, and she's like, "Oh, Void, I know you're still up. Yeah, I'll be up for a little bit, Mother." As he's just getting stuff ready. And she's like, "Oh, before you go to bed, I need you to, there's some paperwork that I failed to, file during your schooling to register for the new school you're going to. It's some high school, so. It's just, what is it? It's form to, they want to, it's required by law to register your quirk." She says that. So Izuku's like, writes down, hardening. Let's just call it, he calls it ultimate armor, I guess. Ultimate armor. He has like ultimate armor. What is that? It's my hardening quirk. She's like, I don't remember seeing you having a hardening quirk, but I'll show you, Mom. As he gets up, he forms his hand into a black claw. That's his armor claw. She's like, I could do that to my whole body. I just don't need to. it's too dangerous. He could really hurt someone, but that will come in play later. So, and she understands that. And she's like, okay, you really need to start training that if you're gonna use that, register that. He's like, yeah, I'll find a way to train it. And she's like, we do have, I know a couple of places where you can train your type of quirk without any trouble. I'll give a couple phone calls tomorrow and I'll take care of it. As this process to register your quirk, it's gonna take about a week or two. So you're gonna miss your first day. She's like, I'm sorry. As Izuku's like, or Void's like, it's fine. That's why I'm sorry. A small pause. That's where I'm making it sense where he's a transfer student instead of just the first the new kid, or going the first day with everyone. So as the next day happens, as he gets a phone call from not phone call but text from Jira. And she's like, really don't want to go to that school tomorrow. As Izuku's like, why? Bunch of kids from my school are there. Bunch of bullies. As I've had, I have older friends that went to high school and they have told me some things. It's very troubling. I'm just worried about, I'm especially worried about Mina. The way, with her mutation quirk at the prime target, as Izuku, says, if anything, if anyone of you goes after me, I'll take care of it. And she's like, thanks, Void. As Void's like, no problem. I'll talk to you later. As, they hang up. As the week progresses, as he goes to his first day, of school. As we have, Mina and Jiro are in their seats as they're talking. As Mina's like, so have you talked to your boyfriend recently? She's just joking. And she's like, shut up, Mina. But seriously, Jiro, has he at least texted you? She's like, yeah, he texted me yesterday. So as they talk, as the teacher is teaching as one of the staff of the school from the office. She tells her what's going on. It's like, oh, it seems like attention class. It seems like we have a transfer student. As you see, Izuku is whatever uniform they'll have for whatever I really don't care, but I'm not about to go pick one out. But yeah, it's a school uniform. Let's say it's like, instead of green, like the parts of it, it's like blue. So whatever. Let's continue. As oh, you must be what is your name, young man? As she's like, as Izuku's like Void's like Void Midoriya. As Jiro, is shocked. So is Mina. As she's like, oh, Mina's like, oh, I'm gonna have fun with this. As she's getting a little bit evil grin, but that type of stuff happened. I think you could sit, between Mina and Miss Mina and Miss Jiro. As he sits between, as she, kicks him in the leg, in the foot. Why didn't you tell me you're going to my school? As Izuku's like, Voice like, I didn't know you went to the school. You never told me. And she's like, she pouts a little bit. And she's fine. And she's like, I guess, it's my fault. As, you know, there's that. And Mina's over there smiling. As we're gonna, we're gonna cut to us, a little scene here. As, after the day progress as it does, as Ezekiel, goes to get, wash up in the bathroom, in the boys' bathroom, as he hears, a lot of noise in there. Sorry. As he sees, two guys, one guy holding, this spiky haired dude behind his back, has his arms behind his back, as the other one's, punching him in the stomach, as they're like, don't let him talk. That villain. As long as you don't reply, his quirk is useless. Stupid villain. We don't, we're gonna put you where you belong, down in the dirt. As they're willing him. I highly doubt the school cared if you just went up missing one day. As they're socking him, as the dude the dude that was socking, Shinto, as he gets socked the back of the head, as he goes down on the ground, as he's like, who the hell are you? As he, grabs him by the neck and throws him against the stall. As he walks over there and just kicks him. As he begins beating on him. As, blood's getting a little bit on his cheek. As Izuku, gets up, kicks the one dude, the first dude that went down. As, Shinzo, he's kind of catch his breath. As he's like, hey man, you alright? As he's like, bastards. Yeah, I'm fine, thanks man. And he's like, I'm Shinzo. And it's like, I'm Void. And she's like, bastards. As Void's like, so, is this a normal day here in this school? As he's like, yeah, these punks, these losers freaking always pick on anyone that's different. Doesn't have a normal quirk. But of course, mine, villainous. As, you hear the hatred in his voice. And he's like, what's your quirk? Like, by the way, what's your quirk? As he's like, as he says mind control. I think it's mind control. But he's like, that's not villainous. That's freaking awesome. As Shinzo's like, what? He's like, yeah, you don't realize, like, how powerful your quirk is. I mean, shit, man. As Izuku, sits down next to Shinzo because, he's still on his, he's still on the ground. As, he's laying against the wall as he's like, you literally, could make someone do whatever you want. Like, how does it work? As, Shinjo's is telling him, and Shinjo's like, what's your quirk? As he's like, as he, he does the hardening with on his hand as he sees the claw. It's like, it's just a little bit hardening. And it's just like, dude, your quirk is a whole lot better than mine. And it's like, no, dude. As he's like, you should have more confidence in your ability, your quirk, man. It's pretty awesome, for me at least. Don't let people like these, these low lifes get you down. Your quirk's, pretty high tier. If you just train your quirk and maybe, learn some martial arts, you would, you'd be good if you went to UA. And she's like, really? As he's never had someone, besides his own sister. So, they're bonding. I'm making, Mamneta, he's not going to be in class. It's going to be Shinzo. So, there's that. This is going to be Izuku's first friend outside of Jiro. So, plot. So, as he's like, shit, man, we need to get back to class before, we get in trouble. As, he's actually in the same class. As they're like, dude, like, as Shinzo sits in the back, as he sits, next to Jiro, as their end progresses, as we're going to time skip. Yeah, we're going to time skip. As the blast tournament, and I'm changing it in every 2 years. Yeah, every 2 years, because I'm making this have like at least 4 years of high school, like normal, at least in America. I don't know how like Japan do their schooling, but sometimes in cultures things change. That's normal in America, so stuff like that. But I'm just saying there's 4 years, so let's go with that. So the guys that he kind of beat up badly, they would be sophomores. So when give me a second, I need to rethink this. Well, whatever. I got tired thinking about it, so we'll continue this. But those guys that he beat up, they'll come back for some revenge. Normal, because you can't punk someone like that and not get thinks they're not going just not going to sit there around and do nothing about it. But let's get back to it. As we're doing a time skip as Mina and Jiro and Void, they have hanged out a lot together, so they're always together. As we're gonna cut to one day in school, as some upperclassmen were giving Mina a hard time, calling her a freak. It's like, look at this freak, as they pull her hair. As it's a bunch of upperclassmen dudes. They're being douches. As one of them was about to pull on her antennae. I guess that were called. I guess what's on top of her head. I'm not totally sure. But let's continue. As Void grabs his hand and squeezes his wrist, as he hardened his palm, so he squeezed. As he screams, as he's like, leave Mina alone. Or it's going to be very unpleasant for you. As loser, as they go off. Sorry guys, I totally forgot to mention what the time skip was. So Izuku Avoid is a junior in high school. So he hasn't entered any of the Quirk Blast tournaments since that day. So, but he will during the last senior year. So but let's get back to the story. As Izuku Void's like, Mina, are you right? And she's like, yeah, I'm fine. Thanks for the help. As she smiles. And she's like, I'm more tougher than that. As she dusts herself off. As Jiro's like, Mina, what happened? It's like some guys were giving me a hard time, but Izuku came in and took care of it. As Jiro's relieved. As she's like, thanks, Void. And she's like, no problem. You're the closest things to. You're only people that I would actually call friends. So I'm not gonna let some little these losers do anything. So as that progresses. As Izuku's personality has he's still the same, but he's learned to talk to people and he's more sociable. But don't piss him off or shit will go down. And over the years, Shinzo and him have made it hanging out a lot. As Izuku's walking out the gate of the school, it's the end of the day. As Void, as it's Shinzo. It's like, dude, you want to go to arcade? As like, there's this new game out. As he's geeking out on that. As he's like, sure, I got time to kill. Never actually been to one. Seriously, dude, never been to arcade? No, never really got the option to. He's like, where did your mom keep you in the cave? He's like, I'm sorry. As Void's laughing, he's like, almost. As he's thinking back on his. He was born. He woke up in a test tube, so there's that. So as they're going to arcade. As they played a couple games. Let me do this because that's gonna bug. Things are gonna pop in while I'm trying to do this. As they're Shinzo and them have played several games. As Shinzo's like, dude, I'm gonna get some drink. Do you want anything? As he's like, yeah, just give me just give me water. She's like, sure, I'll be back, man. As he goes off, as he gets back, as he runs into some punks. As he's like, dude, get out of my way, freak. As Shinzo's like, what did you say? As he didn't, I didn't stutter, did I? As Shinzo's got you. As he's like, hit your friend in the face. As he does that, as he releases control, as Shinzo's smiling, as like, you're dead, kid. As the owner, if you're gonna fight in here, take it outside, or I'll ban you. As he's Void sees he saw this as he's smiling because he knows how Shinzo does. Is he's kind of a dick sometimes, so he's the same Shinjo, but he sees Izuku as a friend. So actually, I might put a poll up for if you want Shinzo to be in class 1A or be in his original class, because I could go either way. I prefer him to have class 1A because to build on the friendship, but I'll put a poll up to see what you guys want to see. As we continue. As they walk outside, as Izuku, picks up his drink from the ground, drinks it, walks out the front door behind everyone. As everyone, in a back alley, as he's like, Shinzo's like, let's see what you got, losers. As they both come rushing at Shinzo, as he gets socked in the face, as he's like, you hit like my sister. As as they're about to kick Shinzo, as Void comes in, hardened, and shoulder checks his back as he goes flying against the wall. As he unhardens his shoulder, as Shinzo's like, took you long enough, pretty boy. As they're just Shinzo is just giving Izuku a hard time. He's like, dude, do you always have to start trouble everywhere you go? And it's like, it's my sparkly personality. As he helps him up, he's like, come on, man, let's how you want to handle this? As he's Void's like, why don't you, as he cracks his knuckles, why don't you get some beauty sleep? Let me handle this. I want to test something out. As he's never actually tested this out where he could harden his body in pieces. As one of the dudes come rushing in, trying to sock Midoriya, as he hardened his cheek. As soon as the fist hit the hardened part of his cheek, the dude screams out, man, what are you made of? Diamond? As, he almost broke his hand. As Izuku just straight up hardens his fist a little bit as he punched the dude in the face as he's down. As he's like, shit. As he looks over his shoulder, boys, we're having trouble here. Can you help us out? As, several, people come in. As, Shinzo's laughing. Well, you did say to get my beauty sleep. So, as, he has his arms around his back, just leaning against the wall. He's like, it's a good show. Wish I had some popcorn. As Void's like, you're a douche. As he's like, I would watch out for the one on the right. As, Midoriya gets socked in the face. As it doesn't do anything because, he has shock absorption. So, as he just takes it, as he's like, that's all you got. As Izuku, Void needs him. As he goes flying into the main street, hitting a sign. I need to put this out if I'm going to do this. As several of the thugs come in, as Izuku hardens his elbows as he elbows one right in the ribs. as he grabs his head and throws him into a wall. As Izuku's getting irritated, as he starts doing combination of kicks and punches, as he jumps up, grabs one dude in the head, as while he's going up, he's kneeing him, as he hardened his knee, as knocking the dude out, as he's tearing him apart. Every time they sock him, he hardened his body, as one of the dude grabbed had a bat, as he swings it at Midoriya's Void's ribs, as he hardened his whole ribs, as the bat shakes and rattles, as Izuku grabs it, then smacks the dude across the head with it, as he tosses the bat out of the way. He's like, "That's all you got, ladies? Come on." No, we're older. As you know, sorry, as you see a black haired girl come rolling in, smacking a dude across the face with her skateboard. As she's, fighting, as, Shinjo's eyes, widen, as he's like, shit, I'm in trouble. As, as Izuku Void doesn't have time to, worry about that. As as they're fighting, the little street thugs, that's our whole group of them. It's a really little, it's a low tier gang, nothing with guns. They might have a couple blades, but that's pretty much about it. They're like very low tier. As she's smiling, as she's like, you're not bad. As Izuku's like, Void's like, yeah, you're not too bad yourself. As Izuku punches dude that was right across from her face. And she's like, I saw him there. I was just waiting for him to get closer. As Midoriya's like, yeah, sure. As sorry. As she punches one that was going to hit Midoriya in the face. As she's like, you should keep your eyes in your surrounding more. As Izuku's like, aren't we cocky? As they're doing banter. As they're fighting. As he's like, God damn it. Sorry, Shinjo's like, God damn it. As she sees her brother at the corner of her eye. As she's like, what the hell are you doing here, Shinjo? And she's like, nothing much, sis. I was just hanging out with Void over here. And she's like, so that's his name. She gets a quick look at him. Does the scan. As she kicks the dude across the face that was coming after her. As Izuku, is continuing battling the rest of them. As he's pounding, grabbing the dude's face, as he's pounding his fist into it. And she gets up, walks up to Shinjo, hands her hand out. Brother, you're a pain in my ass. As, come on, sis. And she's like, let me guess. You pissed one of these guys off. Yeah, because he bumped into me, and dude was that dude was a douche. Mother's gonna kill you. She's like, come on, sis. Whatever. As Shinzo's like, Izuku, are you done? Or, Void, are you done? Izuku, drops the dude. He's like, yeah, I'm done. That was interesting. She's like, your name Void, right? As he's like, yeah. I am, this little shit's sister. I'm Luna. As as they introduce themselves, as Shinzo, stretches. It's like, sorry about today, Void. Next time I won't start, a little fight. As are you free tomorrow? As he's like, yeah, I'm free. As she's like, good. I'll catch you later. As she's, looks back at Midoriya. or voice like, not. I want to fight you one day. As she walks off. As we're cut to Jiro as her parents are asking about her new friend that she's been hanging around with. And she's like, "So, sweetheart, who is this new friend you've been hanging around with? You and Mina?" And she's like, "What, Void?" And she's like, "Yeah, the boy." As her parents are like, I don't know if that's in canon, but I'm making this. They're like, they make music, so I'm not going to about to pronounce that because that's not happening today. So musicians, yep, they are musicians. There you go. I can talk. Let's continue. As they're musicians, so her mother's like, "So is he your boyfriend, or is he's Mina's?" She's like, "Shut up, mom." As he's not dating any of us. As she's looking down. She's flustered. As she's like, "Oh, I see. So you like the boy?" And she's like, "Mom." And she's like, "Come on, I'm not. You're my daughter. I know this. I could tell the way you talk about Void. You put a bit of a smile." And she's like, "Fine, I do, but I don't know how to. And she doesn't know what to do. I really don't know what to do. I don't want to ruin the friendship, but I don't want, him to date like someone else. As she's going like, "Well, dear, you're going to have to think about that yourself. You're going to have to make a decision." As she's giving mother talk and all that. It's like, but how about in a couple of days, you have him and his mother out over for dinner. I would like to meet the boy and his parents. As that goes on, as a couple of days progress, he was about to leave for school or leave from school to go home. As Gerald's like, Void, can you hold up for a minute? As Void's like, "Yeah, what do you want, Jera?" She's like, "Sorry to do this to you, like on short notice, but my mom wants, you and your mom out over at our house for dinner in like a couple days. As you probably don't want to go, but as she's doing that all thing. As Izuku's like, Void's like, "Yeah, sure, that'll be fun." She's like, "Thanks. I'll see you tomorrow." As she goes off, running off, smiling, that sort of thing. As we're gonna stop it there. Yeah, this I'm just adding some more content into this, so I didn't want to go straight up to I don't want to like go through the story too fast, but not too slow. So they're a junior, so we'll get to the court tournament, in the next episode. So hope you guys have a good night and day. Judging my time zones. All right, bye.